Your IRCC tracker says in progress in one section, completed in another, and then the overall application changes to closed. Does that mean approval, refusal, or something else? Not necessarily any of them. Those labels do not all describe the same thing, and mixing them up can make a normal update look much more dramatic than it is. In the next few minutes, I will show you what each label actually means, which one requires action from you, and how to read the tracker without turning every date change into a prediction. Start with the overall status at the top of the tracker. Immigration Canada says received means it got your application and is checking whether it is complete. In progress means Immigration Canada is still reviewing the application. It does not tell you how much work remains or give you a personal decision date. Closed means Immigration Canada finished handling the application, but it does not automatically mean refusal. Immigration Canada says a file can be closed because it was approved, refused, withdrawn, or abandoned. So, closed is a signal to read the decision and messages. The word alone does not tell you which outcome applies. Below the overall status are the individual review sections. Immigration Canada lists 4: eligibility, medical exam, background verification, and biometrics. These sections can show not started, waiting on you, in progress, completed, or exempted. Here is the important distinction. If one section says completed, that means Immigration Canada finished reviewing that section. It does not by itself mean the entire application was approved. Your medical section can be completed while eligibility or background verification remains in progress. Each section is one part of the file. Not started means Immigration Canada says it has not started reviewing that section. In progress means the section is still being reviewed. Exempted means that section is not required for that application. The status that most clearly calls for attention is waiting on you. Immigration Canada uses it when more information or documents are needed from the applicant. That is why the Your Next Steps area matters more than guessing what an update date means. Immigration Canada may use it to request police certificates, passports, fees, biometrics, or other information. Check that section regularly, then verify the actual request and deadline in your official messages. Applicants often notice that the tracker's updated date changed without an obvious visible change. Online discussions often call this a ghost update. But the public status definitions do not promise that a silent date change predicts approval, refusal, or the next milestone. Record the date if it helps you stay organized, but do not turn it into a forecast. The document area is another separate layer. Depending on the application, it may show information about a medical exam, confirmation of permanent residence, visitor visa, study permit, or work permit. Again, the exact fields depend on what you applied for. Here's the practical way to read the tracker. First, identify whether you are looking at the overall application or one review section. Second, look for waiting on you and check your next steps and official messages for an action or deadline. Third, treat in progress and completed as status information, not a personal timeline prediction. Finally, if the overall file says closed, read the final decision instead of assuming what the word means. The short version is, overall status and section status are different. Completed does not automatically mean approved. Closed does not automatically mean refused. And waiting on you means it is time to check the official request. If this helped, subscribe to Canada Immigration Clarity. If you want a clearer way to follow your Canadian immigration journey, PR Tracker Canada lets you follow new and past express entry draws, receive draw alerts, estimate and save your CRS score, monitor published processing times, and record application milestones in one place. PR Tracker Canada is independent from IRCC. Its scores and dates are estimates, it does not read your government account or predict an outcome, and the app link is in the description. If you want a separate video explaining P1, P2, and eCOPR, leave that question in the comments. This is general information, not immigration advice. I am not a lawyer or licensed immigration consultant. Canada Immigration Clarity is independent and is not affiliated with, endorsed by, or operated by IRCC or the Government of Canada. Always verify your own case with canada.ca, IRCC, or an authorized representative.